Hi, and welcome to Conscious Conversations with Alexandria and Daren. And we're so happy to have you here with us, aren't we, Daren?
Oh yeah.
And
Everybody.
we're just going to have a really fun chat today. We want to talk all about fun and how we can create more of that in our lives. And just like really, we're not here to slog through life. We're here to have fun and to experience, love and self-love. And so we're just going to chat a little bit about that today and just invite you to join in the conversation. We're doing this like for you and with you, and we want you to be a part of it. So join in and yeah, and let's just take it away and have some fun. So fun, that's a word that changes, doesn't it? Like as we age, like stuff we did is that was fun when we were kids. And I know how many people still do anything that they did for fun as a child, or as even as a teenager, you know. So I'm just kind of throwing that out there. What do you think, Darren? What do
Well,
you
you
do
know,
for fun? Like examples. What do you do for fun?
well, I
Or what
wanted
do you think you would like to do?
I wanted to mention like a quick story, I guess you could say. Um, and I was kind of telling you briefly a little bit of it before we started this episode, but I figured, yeah, I guess there was a reason that it was kind of we didn't finish the conversation. For me to talk a little bit about it on here because it really brought back this feeling of feeling like I was 20 or even younger, like 18 again, and
Good feeling.
what's the word? What I'm referring to, that's the word, is when I went back to the gym. And why I mentioned that is because so I was there for a little while. I'm walking on the treadmill. I haven't been back in like 3, 4 years. And I had before I got there, I already had I had music playing. And I started playing some music that was really uplifting and just stuff that I went to concerts and watched, and stuff like that I
Mm,
haven't done in a long time, probably since we all went through 2020, the whole thing that went on, which I feel like changed a lot of our fun aspect, I feel like.
yeah.
And so what ended up happening when I get in there, I could feel the testosterone flowing and pumping just in the place just because of the atmosphere and people lifting and and estrogen and testosterone, so to speak. And so when I left, and I hadn't done this in a long time, and I guess my higher self or my spirit wanted to experience it and since I had this car, I haven't done that. And I literally had the music going and I could feel the energy going like I was 18 again, like I just got the car for the first time and I was started just laying on the gas. Like just I'd leave the light and just put the pedal to the metal, okay, so to speak, whatever you want to call it. And I could feel the adrenaline flowing. I'm like, oh my God, this feels so good. Like pumping the gas and just, and like having the music going, the windows are down and the cool air is going and just the breeze and just the feeling of like, I don't know, just feeling like you don't like, I don't know, maybe you're above
Not a
the
care in
law.
the world.
Yeah, not a care in the world. You're like a teenager again. Like, who cares if something happens, like type of thing. Like that rush, that adrenaline rush. I felt it, and I came out of there feeling so good. And I told like several people I felt so lit up and so excited coming out of there just by being in that atmosphere. And it really, yeah, I felt like I had a shift like over the weekend. And so yeah, I wanted to just mention that because sometimes we forget, and then these situations that we find ourselves in remind us of that, like this scenario, what is it imagine what it feels like, you get behind that wheel and then you just like punching the gas right at the light, and just the feeling, the adrenaline rush you get,
Yeah.
it yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that resonates with you or anybody else, but it definitely brought back a lot of like younger, like my teenage years, or
I
even
think
early
that's
20s.
yeah, and I think that's important to get to strive for. Now, So what I'm going to share is kind of piggybacks a little bit on that. I was watching this video and it was very convincing about how, in not the not too distant future, like within our lifetimes, people will be living to maybe 150. And actually, I was just doing some yoga on YouTube today, and right after I was done, there was somebody interviewing a woman who was 102, and she seemed just as, you know, she was articulate. She was like just chatting away. She could have been my age, And so how I'm interpreting that is like, well, if that's going to be the new thing, if I then I'm now maybe middle age, because if I'm shooting for like 150, I'm actually 65. So, but I should be thinking more like, if I was 40, would I be doing this? Would I be taking up a new hobby? Would I be, challenging my body in new ways and stuff, like when I became a yoga teacher at 40, and I was a fitness instructor and I taught aquafit and all kinds of things like that. And so, but then you can get into a mindset where like, well, I'm on the last stretch, kind of thing. And I mean, not right now, but like in another 10 years or so, then I'll be slowing down, and but I think it's all a mindset. And just to even think like, well, so because I have a lot of longevity in my family tree, and so my people live to be like 90 and 100. And I had an aunt who just passed at 102, and one was 99. And so I was sort of thinking I'll probably be around 100. But now if I'm thinking, well, I may be 125 or 150, I
Mhm.
still want to have all
Mhm.
this and all, my body, well cared for and toned, well taken care of, so that it's going to be up for whatever also. So it's just a different, I like a shift, and that that bringing yourself to that place of fun, um where you feel that youthfulness. And I totally am an advocate for that, in whatever form that takes. Like, you know just I find it easier if I'm actually around like kids, but my
The younger
grandkids are getting
people,
too
yeah.
old now. They don't want to play in the sandbox with me anymore. you know but you know but yeah, just whatever you can think of, just make it fun. Like even in the fitness level now, like I've just recently, I've had a big weighted hula hoop, and I just started training with it again, and I was like, well, this is fun because it's a challenge and it falls a lot, but it's like I can laugh at myself and do it. And it doesn't feel as arduous as like, I don't know, wall Pilates or something. So it's like, keep the fun in there, keep laughing. When you think, what is the statistics about how a little kid laughs so many, like probably like thousands of times a day,
Oh
and
yeah.
then get to be an adult, it's like a few times. So what makes you laugh? Like laughing yoga is another great, just laughing for the sake of laughing, or watching some ridiculous show that like we started watching reruns of Beverly Hillbillies when I was sick a month ago, when I was like basically on the couch, like, and watching this dumb show, and it was just, but well written and funny, like it was silly and funny and it made you laugh. So, you know just tapping back into that sort of thing,
Or like
I
goat
think.
yoga, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
when the goats are
I
on your
have
back.
3 cats, so whenever I do yoga, I'm doing cat yoga, so
Yeah.
it was fun. I had them on top of me and underneath me, and they just like, oh, goody, we're doing yoga,
You know what's so
so
interesting, what you said, my dad before he passed, that's exact like when I had probably the 10th rock bottom I hit in 2020. He kept telling me, because he was really an angel at that time. I really believe, well, I believe that he was here as that throughout my entire life. But at that time, he kept telling me there was an old man that cured himself from laughter, and he wrote a book. I don't know what his name is, but my dad kept telling me about it, and he's like, this man cured himself from laughter, you know. And then he kept telling me to
just by
find,
laughing.
yeah,
Yeah.
just from laughing, and I don't remember what his name is. If I could find it, I'll mention it on another episode. But uh, I do remember, and he kept bringing that up to me over and over again, and that's the thing that he keeps coming through with, and I keep getting these channeled messages regarding that this life goes by like the blink of an eye, and we came here to experience all of it. And like, why like this morning, when I was channeling what was coming through, which continues to come through in different ways. And I'm noticing the council with Sarah, the same kind of thing. It's like finding joy, finding what lights you up, finding what excites you. Like
Yeah.
this is the repetitive thing that I hear from channel after channel. And even the messages that I'm bringing through, it's like this is the time now. I feel like that, like why is it's so another example I just want to mention is when I was at the gym, and this was yesterday, and I had this really bad headache, and I'm looking around and I just see these women and men too, but I think the women, for some reason I saw the women more so, like they were taking it so serious.
Mm.
You know, like
Yeah.
they're like
Yeah.
like the sculpting of their body, and like like they wouldn't even crack a smile, you know. And it was just
Yeah.
the seriousness behind it, you know, versus like where's the lightness, where's the, like, who cares, like we came here to enjoy this, not why is everybody take it so serious, like you have this career or this job and like you take that job so damn serious. And it's just like,
Yeah.
you know, and you'll go into like a bank or you'll go in somewhere and you see this person like so serious, like bringing out the contracts and everything is like by the book, and you know what I'm saying, like there's no room for lightness or, you know. And I notice that a lot with people, you know, and including myself. I'm, you know, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm all the time perfect with that, you know, but it's something that I know that I've been missing for a while. And I'm a very silly person, joking person. That's always the way I've been. I like to play jokes on people, all kinds of stuff like that, you know. But I kind of lost it like the last few years, losing my dad. And I guess I haven't been focusing on that, like Sarah, like the council said, you know, like
Yeah. Yeah. Making it a
focusing on
priority.
the happiness and joy, you know, like those things,
Yeah.
you know. So that's why
Well,
I'm not at the
and
forefront.
it's true. So we think about like happiness as this thing we were striving for, but it's like it's the byproduct
Yeah.
of just enjoying our lives and little things like even like it's been shown that just even smiling will it tells your brain that you're happy, and
Mm.
then your brain starts to send out these hormones that will make you happy. So even so, the people who like there have been studies done on achieving happiness, and I can remember some of some of them were just like just decide you're going to be, make it your priority, like make it like I'm going to do what makes me happy, and if I've got two options, which will make me happier, and then your joy will increase just as a natural byproduct of that. And little things like putting some music on, if you don't normally have music on in your home, well, just try putting or different kind of music that's going to make you want to kick up your
Jump
heels a
around,
little
yeah.
bit and jump around. Yeah, have fun and just move around like um
You know,
yeah,
something you
so
just said, like I learned this like back in 2017. They told that, I guess it's a study like what you just said. If you keep like if you just do a half smile, it releases the endorphins automatically just by you, like whether you're happy or not. Like I remember this when I was going through depression, and I remember this therapist that I was with. It was called DBT or something like that, dialectal behavioral therapy. And I remember them talking about like just going like this, like a half, kind of a half smile. And
yeah,
I started doing it no matter how I felt, and I could feel these euphoric sensations were being released. It almost like forces the release of this type of oxytocin, or one of them. Not, I can't remember. I don't quote me on it, but I know for a fact I learned that if you just have a half smile, whether no matter if you're even faking it, you can force the brain
yeah,
to switch from this depressive state to a happy state. By just doing that, you're like tricking the brain, they so to speak.
yeah,
That's what they were
yeah.
teaching in DBT, you know. So it was interesting that you said that, because I remember that. And I used to tell that to everyone. I'm like, just who cares? Even if you're not happy, just put a half smile on. And not only
Well,
that,
and it's so true. And I mean,
it
people think like
feels
people are
good.
like, well, when this happens, I'll be happy. When that happens, I'll be happy. And but some of these tests have shown like it's not about winning the lottery, because people who win the lottery a month later, their happiness has already dropped down to whatever it was before. So
Yeah.
that's not what it takes to make you happy. Like, and something else that might be like, oh, you're having perfect health, but people can be perfectly healthy and not be happy. But somebody who's struggling with their health, who is really realizing that they want to make it their priority, and then they, that's, they can be the happiest people around. In fact, the happiest people in a show that did across Canada, where I live, the happiest woman was like in a wheelchair. She was on mother's allowance, so she didn't have money, she didn't have health, but she was considered to be the happiest person at that time, in the country. So, I mean, that's crazy, when you think about
Yeah.
it. So if it's not about health and it's not about wealth, then what is it that's going to make you happy? And it's really just that choice. And it comes back to why we kind of combine this with the self-love. And I'm wearing a rose quartz that's
That's
in the shape
beautiful.
of a
I love
heart
it.
at my heart. So that just keeps me, rose quartz is known to help promote self-love, and that's where your love begins. Like, it flows all your emotions. There's probably a lot of realize, but maybe haven't thought about lately, but it all flows through you first before it goes to anybody else. So the more, like if you're angry at somebody, that's what you're flooding your body with too.
Mhm.
So if you're just, feeling that love, you're just going to fill yourself up with it, and you're going to radiate that out, and everybody's going to be impacted in a positive way, because whatever it is we're feeling at any given time is what we're our contribution to humanity. So why not be fun? Like, what, so again, it comes back to what things are fun for you. Like you say, like making, like being practical jokes, or just whatever, being, making a pun out of something, but just having fun
Yeah,
with
yeah,
whatever you
not
do.
taking it so and look, I carry this with me all the time. Rose
Oh, is
quartz.
that a rose quartz? Looks
Yeah,
like it here.
yeah. So
Nice.
I carry it in my pocket, everywhere. So along with
That's
like,
a beautiful stone. Yeah,
yeah,
I love.
along with like quite a few, like well, this is another one, but that's amethyst. It's like a little bit different, but I carry like this bag of stones, um, with me, like it's funny because I put it in like a Ziploc bag,
Oh,
but I keep it in my pocket, all of them. And then this I got a
get a
long
little
time.
leather bag for that.
Yeah, I need to get a little, you're right. I mean, and this one's really
Yeah.
cool because it's
Well,
like, it looks like a little
it's
alien,
pretty.
but you see how it is like
It does.
a mixture of all kinds
Yeah.
of stones inside of it. This person made it, it was like really cool. Uh,
Oh, that's neat.
yeah. So, I do the same like you kind of, I got my little bag of stones, but yeah, I've been doing that, Alexandria, to be honest with you. So I just got like, these canvases, so
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna, and then I got some brushes and some paint. I'm gonna maybe sit out in nature and start doing some light language or whatever comes through. Someone gave me a suggestion too, which was really a cool suggestion. I posted some of the work that I've been doing and in another group, and this woman goes, why don't you just try closing your eyes and just letting your hand just go, and
Oh, that's
not really trying
interesting.
to make it perfect or
Yeah,
to look a certain way. Just allow your hand to just go, close your eyes, drop into your heart, take some breaths, and then just let it just go. I'm gonna try that. I haven't
that sounds
necessarily
really
tried
cool.
that, and that can be another, because a lot of the stuff I've been doing, like I got this sketchbook too, and it has like uh,
Nice one. Like that.
interesting paper in there. And a lot of it I like, I don't know, I let my hand do the stuff, but it's more like uniform than if I closed my eyes and just allowed for whatever to come through, so just having fun and like no expectations and letting go, and and just making things lighter, I guess, or just, it's like I gotta listen, and I feel like all of us do, because I feel like that's right now is really important to find what lights us up.
That's true, because we want to be radiating who we are. We want to be like, tap into our own inner light and just be radiating that out. And that's really important right now. And but do it because you want to, not because, oh, it's important, it's my job. Like, don't turn that into your work, but just realize that if I'm feeling happy right now, this is such a gift to anyone who's not. So it's kind of like there's people who can't get to that right now. Maybe they're deep in depression. Maybe they have a lot going on their plate that they just really can't tune into that aspect right now. So if I feel like if I can, then I can offer that to other people, and it's going to help raise their vibration because it's going into the collective.
Yeah, yeah.
So it can help,
No,
but
you're
help,
right. You're right.
so,
And
and it's something that we can, there's other little tips. Sorry, Darren, I'm talking over you, but for in terms of the happiness, or just to even get to that place, there's something that I've been sharing with people for years. Is that to like, if you want to have a good day tomorrow, that starts today, because tomorrow is going to be basically the accumulation of all the thoughts you've been thinking today. But a really good thing to a habit to acquire is just to think about, at the end of the day, think about what are your 5 favorite moments of the day. And it could be like seeing a little child smile, or it could be your pet doing something silly, or it could be just eating some really beautiful food, or drinking some really beautiful something. But think about those 5 moments that you really like, oh, that was really good. And just kind of thinking about that as you go to sleep. And what's going to happen is it's going to predispose you to having a good day tomorrow, because as you're sleeping, your brain is going to keep working on these thoughts. It's going to keep percolating. And you're probably going to have nicer dreams, and you're also going to wake up kind of like with this air of expectation almost. And you're also teaching your brain to look for things that make you feel good. So then it's not going to notice so much the potholes. Like if you're driving, you'll notice, oh, look how beautiful the blue sky is. And oh, look at, like what a nice road. This is, just done, and it's a beautiful road. You're going to find yourself noticing those things because your brain is looking for them. Just like if you just get a new car, or if you're wanting to get a certain color car and you start seeing them everywhere, it's the same thing. It's the reticular activation. You're noticing these things because you're teaching your brain to pay attention to it. So that's a really good way to and gratitude is such a, like, what all the happy people, when they did this study, the one thing that was the common element was they were grateful. So I mean, we can all take the time to write like 3 things that you're grateful for in the morning, and like, why am I grateful for this? Why am I happy to be with this partner, or to have this child, or to have this job, or live in this place, whatever it is. Focusing on the gratitude is going to fill you up. You're going to be happier. You're going to be raising your happiness quotient right through just doing that. So that's a couple of tips to share just for our viewers today. Try it. Like,
I
give it a
love
try. You can
that. I
start.
love
You can
that.
be happier as soon as today.
Yeah, I love that. And it's also one other tip to add is like, and Sarah, the council said it yesterday, and it's something that I've heard, I'm sure a lot of us have heard, is just smiling at someone, and then them smiling back, and that's something that a lot of us are on autopilot, and we
Yeah,
don't take
that's
that
good.
moment, we open the door, and we just are in our heads and not in our heart, and not connected to our breath, and just on autopilot, and you just open the door and you don't even think to, like, maybe if I smile, I'll make this person's day, and who knows what they're experiencing, and or even like, I heard this one guy was doing this randomly. And again, I know you're a woman, so it's, whatever, but you know it still can be used in the same way. But he was just randomly going up to women and just not wanting anything from them, but telling them how beautiful they were, and saying, I don't want anything from you, I just want to tell you how pretty you are today, and what you're wearing is pretty. And then he just left. And
Nice.
that it was interesting. He was like doing this on YouTube channel, and just randomly saying, I'm gonna just do this like random thing, and just randomly pick different people and just go up to them, or maybe hand them a rose and say how beautiful they are and walk away, and I thought that was interesting too, because
That's
people don't.
lovely. Yeah.
So it's just
Yeah.
things
That's
that,
really
can be adopted, that It doesn't have to be something like that, but it can be just anything, hey, you look good today, or I like your hair, or whatever, like you may just lifted some,
Yeah.
you know, um, that maybe needed that at the moment.
And it's just, and you're being positive is, and these positive thoughts are like 10 times, 10,000 times probably more powerful than if you're sitting in like depression. So that's the place when you're feeling all this light, and that's when you say like, how does it get better than this? Or like,
Yeah.
how can I possibly be any happier than I am right now? I can't possibly be any happier. But then your brain is kind of then again looking for things, looking for ways to be happier. And yeah, it's
Love
not
that.
that hard. It's really not that hard because it's not about what you have. It's not
No.
about your possessions. It's not about your health. It's not about your wealth. It's simply making the choice.
Yeah,
So
just something to add to that, what you just said. I used to be in that. Okay, so like I grew up in South Florida, and there's a lot of wealth around there, and I grew up there, grew up around it, and it's probably one of the wealthiest areas up to like next to New York and California, probably, you know. And so growing up around that, I tended to think that you had to be happy, you had to achieve a certain thing, or whatever, all that kind of stuff, that comes along with
yeah.
that. And I would find myself getting this rush of dopamine every time I got a brand new phone, or I had to get those new pair of Nikes, or I had to get, and all I and the new car and whatever, everything, every time what would happen is there was a level of excitement and joy in that moment. The moment you got the new pair of shoes, and then they came out with another model pair, and then you wanted that,
Yeah.
wanted the next one,
Yeah.
you wanted the next phone. And it was like, it was never, it was this short term, quick hit of dopamine that gave me happiness in that moment. And it wore off shortly after. Days later, it didn't matter that I had that pair of shoes anymore. It didn't matter that I had that new phone. It became like kind of mundane, I would say, and you just want the next thing, and it just
Yeah.
never
And
ends.
then you've also got the debt, unless you're paying cash
Right.
with it all, then you got like, okay, this doesn't even make me happy anymore, but now now I've got this credit card debt that
Yeah.
doesn't make me happy either.
And
You know?
all this stuff that well, you're like I realized now, like after I hit multiple rock bottoms, and I had containers and containers of stuff that I never even used, like stacks and stacks and stacks of containers that was just sitting in a garage or in a storage unit. And like then I had the overwhelm of it, of 10 years later, trying to figure out ways of giving it away and getting rid of it. And I'm like, this stuff doesn't make me happy.
Yeah.
I don't want it anymore. And I can't even give it away, much less sell it. And it's brand new stuff.
It's so true, Darren. When I so when I kind of when my marriage ended and I started my life over again, I walked away from a house full of stuff.
Yeah.
Uh Pretty much everything I had ever accumulated during those 30 years. And I just kind of went, you know, I just wanted to start clean. And I loved it. Was such an important lesson for me because other than the personal things that I took, but the other stuff was just like it's just stuff. And that's why they call it trappings, because it does hold you trapped, but it's not, so then when I started over, I didn't even have a stove. I had like a hot plate and a toaster oven, and that was what I cooked on. And I think I had like two plates and a couple of forks, and a couple, like it was right down to bare essentials. And I mean, now my life is very different again, but I still really embrace that simplicity, and just I don't want to be weighed down with a bunch of stuff,
Yeah.
because I think that translates into like emotional stuff too. I want to free myself of all the emotional stuff
Yeah.
and all the physical stuff that would keep me tied to those heavy emotions that I wanted to be free of, so I let it all go. And it was like, man, it was a really vibrant, powerful lesson for me. It was really, really, really powerful. And it's still like, pushing 6 years later, I'm like, yeah, I still, that's a choice now to to live that way and to like to not I don't care. My phone is out of date only by a couple of years, but who cares? Like I don't even want those things anymore. They're just not even on my list.
Yep.
I just want now just to be, be out in nature and just to be with people I love and like everything you know, kind of shifted.
It
So yeah,
definitely
so I totally know what you mean because you're always going for the next thing. Well, I need to redo my house because it's not in style, or whatever.
um,
You know,
it's definitely
people get
overwhelming.
caught in that trap.
Yeah, it's overwhelming, it's burdening, it's weighs you down. I mean, it's like every time I would go in and out and pass by that stuff or realize I had a storage unit filled with stuff. And this happened to me
Yeah,
multiple times as I'm like, I can't run from this. It keeps following me. And I put it in the storage unit, and then the storage unit is huge and it's filled with all this stuff. And I'm like, how the hell did I accumulate all this stuff? And then it's like then it comes with me to the next state I moved to. And then it's like, and then it's sitting there for how many years? And then I'm like, it took me so long to finally go
and
through
you're
the
paying to have it stored.
yeah,
It's not like it's
yeah,
free. You're paying a
no,
lot of
no,
money for
yeah,
storage,
yeah,
but
and
nobody's using it.
no, exactly. And like I kept on telling people, I'm like, this is I don't even want to like begin to crack this stuff open because it is so overwhelming to even just start. And then everyone keeps telling me, just do little by little. And I finally did that. And then lo and behold, 26 containers later, I had gotten rid of all of them. And this was like last year between when my dad passed in 2022 but I still have a lot to go to still, let go of. And it's a process and I'm working on it, but yeah, I've learned huge lesson from all of that, and that I don't that's not what I want. It doesn't make me happy.
Yeah, it doesn't
um
make you happy.
no, no,
Exactly.
it's definitely um can do the opposite if anything.
Yeah. Well, that's how hoarders are born, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, most definitely.
created, I
um
suppose, not born,
but
but
unless you have anything else you want to add, do you want to maybe channel
not
or
really.
okay?
I'm happy to do so, and I don't know if you had anything you want to ask me while I'm in channel. Did you want to ask me something? I can riff with them, or you can just,
Yeah, maybe we can maybe we'll do something for everyone, like
yeah.
what
Well,
do the
you can ask me, you can introduce a question once I'm in channel if you don't mind, and I'll just
okay,
get into it
no.
because I don't want my conscious mind
Yeah, yeah,
to
no,
start.
perfect, perfect,
I'm just gonna plug in for a moment and I do channel with my eyes closed. And so I'm just gonna take 3 deep breaths and go into my channel, and then I'll just be ready for whatever questions you might have. So it
perfect.
just takes me a minute to breathe. Hello, I'm here so happy to be here with you on this beautiful day and to be invited in and to be a happy participant of this show today. So thank you for calling on us. And we overheard a little bit, we watch your show. So we know that there's a question coming up for us. What would you like to know today?
So let's like dove into humanity, a little bit, and just what can you tell us?
Favorite subject.
Yeah. What can you tell us um about joy for humanity going forward as we, you know, proceed into like spring and summer? A lot of the areas around the world will be going into spring and summer, transitioning from winter. What can you tell us as we proceed forward I know, 2024 is just a human thing, but I'm using that as a reference. So as we proceed further in 2024.
It is indeed a joyful time, and we enjoyed this topic that you shared today on how to increase your level of happiness and how to find more joy. And yes, it is a very spring-like day here, and we can see snow is melting and the grass is starting to get greener. and the birds are starting to chirp. And so for this, we feel joy, and we feel our channel feels great joy in this. We do feel overall that joy will be increasing for humanity. You have gone through such a trying stage. We feel you are all ready to experience more joy. And so many are awakening, and they're awakening to the realization that joy does not come from a box store, as you were referring to earlier, that joy is in the simple pleasures. Joy is free. And as more and more of you waken up to the truth of who you really are, of recognizing that you are walking about here on the earth to make a difference, your joy comes in your contribution to others. Your joy comes in smiling at another and seeing that response that elicits. And even if they do not smile back, know that they have received that free gesture of goodwill. We heartily recommend that you continue with that. We do see the joy factor increasing for humanity, and we love you all so much. You are all so, so loved beyond anything you could even begin to describe. If you were to take the love that you feel for a beloved child, and there's a good start. Amplify that, amplify that. In fact, that is a good practice. If you're looking to fill your heart with joy, think of one who brings you joy. Think of your children, your pet, your partner. Think of this dream that you want to bring to fruition, and hold that in your heart, and that is going to increase your level of joy. Now we want you to focus on the joy, and we want you to not get sidetracked by all the seemingly evidential signs that the world is going to hell in a handbasket. That's not happening. The dark is coming to light. The things that you would consider that need changing are being changed, and you need only change your perspective of what you're looking for. Look for different evidence as you look around your world. What things are being paid attention to now that were not being paid attention to 10 or 20 years ago, or even 3 years ago? There are many changes that happened with the pandemic. Many people came to new awakenings, many brilliant minds looking for new solutions, and everyone knowing the impact now of the isolation that you had to endure, and how much you need the contact with other people, and how much that means to you to be able to reach out and touch somebody, to be able to smile at another and not have that covered up with a mask, to be able to have your beautiful smiles received by all of those around you. So having already experienced those things, you are now the richer because of it, and the more wanting to shed light because of it. So it had even with those who are already awake, it took you to the next level where you now really, really feel the importance of, to the point of making it a daily quest. You might say, how can I show more love today? How can I show another how much I appreciate them as another beautiful spiritual being walking about the earth with me? So this is happening. Now, when I say looking for evidence of this, I'm not speaking of watching the news, for example. That is something that we would, in fact, direct you to do less of if you were doing it at all. You may want to look and see what's happening in other countries. You may have to look at alternative sources for your information that is not biased, that is not censored, in fact, from you. But beyond this, we have shared in meditations before, shared meditations where you can focus on a beautiful, happy planet and seeing everyone radiating with the light of 1,000 suns as they're opening their hearts, and you share that love and you share that wish that you're holding in your heart of hearts, in this great central heart. You're sharing that wish for clean air and clean water and happy animals and happy children and happy humans. And you're feeling, as you're entering into this and you're feeling this, it is who you are. So it is now what you are on the inside is what you see reflected on the outside. So the more you can come into this place where everything is already, nothing has gone wrong. It is this beautiful, beautiful experience that you all get to share in. And you can see this is what happens when I'm walking around scowling, and this is what happens when I'm smiling and happy. And which do I now prefer? Which do I want to see more of? And the more and more of humanity who are opting for the joy and for the happiness and for the love, that is being reflected more and more in your world because it is a shared experience. At the same time, it is an intensely personal experience. What you want to see in your world is something, just a decision to make. I choose to be happy. I choose happiness. I choose love. I choose peace. And every time you have to make a choice to make, come back to that. That is your gold standard. Your gold standard is tuning into your heart and being that beautiful being that you came here to be. And recognizing that these others all around you are also, they're extensions of you. So loving them, love all of them. Love everything all around you because love is everything. Everything is energy. Energy and love are interchangeable. So bringing that love, that peace, that harmony to your every breath, to every bite you eat, to every drink you drink, every action that you take. Set that as your intention before you begin your day, before you're even out of bed. And then touch on it lightly throughout your day. Maybe every time you notice your numbers lining up, your angels are trying to connect with you. But you can also use that time to remember to tune in to the who that you truly are inside and feel that love and send that love out again. And it's simple, simple things because you came for the fun. So what a fun topic today to be sharing with the world, how you can have more fun, because that is what you came for. So anything that is not fun, that makes you feel bad, tune it away, tune it out. Tune into love and joy and peace. And we do see this as being your entire collective of humankind rising. And it will rise higher and higher. There's no stopping you now. The more of you who are awake, the more who are adding to the collective of awakened ones who are light bringers and light workers and way showers. It is a beautiful thing. It is the coming of the sun. It is like you've come through the winter of humanity, the darkness, and you're coming into the springtime with more light, with singing birds, with flowers blooming. So hold on to that. And remember that you're here for the fun, for the joy. Did you have any other question? Does it satisfy you?
No, I think that's beautiful. I think that's a perfect place to complete it. And I think it was awesome. And um, thank you immensely. And yeah, this is something we're going to continue to do. We'll both, you know, as more other things as well that we have coming down the pipeline. This was fun. This
That's fun.
shifted me, I'll say. As always, I have a blast. Our energies definitely are filled with a lot of joy and fun. So
It is a joy-filled
yeah.
co-creation, and I'm so happy to share. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to share, and also to share with everybody watching. Like, just be enjoy. Like, just enjoy. I N
Yes,
E
exactly.
N
I love it.
N enjoy. Yes.
I love
Yeah.
it. I love it. And you know, if you haven't already, you know, be sure to subscribe to both of our channels.
Yes, thank you.
You know,
Yeah.
be sure to hit the like
Uh,
button,
It's
comment,
so
share them
encouraging. We
out.
just love it when we get a new subscriber or
Yeah,
somebody comments and it's like, oh man, people are really are watching and they're taking
yeah,
something of value. So if you're watching and enjoying, like even dropping us a heart or just saying, or something that is really, it really encourages us to keep wanting to do that, because we our fourth one will be released this Saturday. So we've been doing this for a month now, and that's pretty crazy cool. So I'm really excited about that. So yeah, please do like and subscribe, because it's I mean, this is a labor of love, but that is like a payment almost for us. It's like we receive that as like payment for our labor of love. So it's yeah,
and not only that, you're helping the algorithm, you're helping to get these messages out to
yeah,
others, helping you want to know how you're helping by just doing that, by just hitting the like
yeah.
button, by just subscribing, by just commenting. You're helping because you're getting more views to more people so that they can find these messages, and hopefully it helps them as well. So
That's
that's,
a really good point.
you
Really
know,
good point, Darren. Yeah, that's really
so it's,
valuable. It's
yeah,
really
so
valuable.
thank you, Alexandria, as always. This has
Thank
been
you,
a
Darren.
fantastic episode. I loved the whole thing. There's a wealth of information here, that's for sure. So I hope you all enjoyed it, you know, and thank you.
And I hope you try just those simple tips of
Yeah.
focusing on 5 things and just see how that changes. Like it will change your life. Like it's simple, easy things that will change your life. You can be happier. You can be as happy as you want to be.
Yeah. Or just
Let yourself.
even you could just try the half smile, you know, even
Yeah,
just walk around with a half of a smile, you will feel release of, you know, like I said, whatever, oxytocin or one of
yeah.
the
Happy hormones.
happy
And it
hormones.
makes other people wonder what you're up to. It used to be
Exactly.
that online
Yeah.
smile. People wonder what you're up
Yeah.
to. And
I'm
it's
telling
true.
you,
You see somebody smile and you see the twinkle in their eye and you're like, I want some of what they've got. you
yeah,
know?
because you know, there's people that I've walked around and I've seen that just don't like, their smile is just like completely like it's almost like it's they've sewed it in that position where that's the only thing they do is walk around with the smile, you know. And the more you do it, the more your brain shifts, you know, without, you're like tricking the brain. So anyways, I hope all that helps, you know, someone out
Yeah.
there. Thank you
Yeah.
again. Your energy is amazing and it's always a delight to be here, and thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a beautiful day, everybody, and enjoy
Everybody, take care.
it.
Have fun.
Bye for now. See you
Bye for
next week.
now.